my sunflowers. It's 31st of December 2020. 2020 is over. I am not sure if it was a good or a bad year for you. For me, it was actually quite a good year. If you know me, you know. If you don't know me personally, here we go. I had a moment where it was in September. I was at my doctor and I actually had the high blood pressure and I've gained a lot of weight since the beginning of the year. And I had a crisis. I cried for 2 hours and I have been going on a weight loss journey since September. I don't think you can see much beside I have lost some weight. I have lost 15 kilograms, which is 33 pounds. But you can't really see it. I don't know why, it's fine. So if I'm going to change in the next year visually, I hope you noticed someday. Otherwise, it's just information. So I actually realized I love working from home office. It is my ideal thing. It was very educational. I hope you had as much luck as I have. I am so privileged to still have a job, to have a home, and I hope you are okay, and otherwise that you will find more happiness in the next year and more luck, and I hope you're safe and healthy, that you didn't catch our lovely virus that has been threatening us since March. So today I want to talk about the best books of 2020, my top 10 books. And obviously, there is a lot more awesome books on my shelves. I have read 172 books. I will finish one today, so 173. And I have actually read about the same page number as last year, like 55,000. Well, I've been reading shorter books, looked like it. Cool. But also longer ones. Yeah. So that has been my year. And I want to talk about the best top books. And I hope you pick some of these up because they are awesome. I love them so much and I'm so excited to talk about them. So the following 10 books are in no particular order. Keep that in mind. Because I cannot decide which one is the best of the year. I have trying to, but they had such different impacts on me that I cannot decide. It's all these 10 books are amazing, A+ forever. So let's start with one I will pick at random. I have them behind me. Loveless by Alice Oseman. So this is a coming out kind of thing, finding yourself, a contemporary novel about aromantic asexual characters. This is beautiful. I mean, Alice Oseman is one of these people in the LGBT author community that is so there for us. She gives us the best beautiful books there, and a lot of times it is inclusive for asexual people. And this one is the whole focus on it. So if you have any doubt or any kind of interest into diving what asexual and aromanticism is, please pick up this book. This is so beautiful. It gave me a new gay crisis. Because I knew I was on the spectrum for asexuality. I was on the gray sexual thing. And I was just questioning myself and I didn't know. And in this book, there is a scene where the main character is kind of filling out a questionnaire or answering some questions. And I was reading that and I was like, oh, wait. She's just had the same answer as I do. Oh my god. So that part is amazing, and this book has just an amazing friendship in it. And I have cried over friendship. I mean, I cry a lot about friendships in other books, but this is solely focused on a friendship there. And it's so flipping beautiful. I mean, in the end, it is all about different kinds of love, and even if you don't feel romantic love for everybody, it doesn't mean that platonic love is anything less than a romantic love, and I adore this. So please go read this. The next book is another gay one, and it's Bonds of Brass by Emily Skrutsky. So this book was a new one for me. It came out of nowhere, and I have to place it on my best books of 2020 because I was having like the fluff face all through this one, and the cliffhanger at the end of this, oh my god, was I screaming. So this book is about two cadets for pilots in an academy on a planet that was basically destroyed by the new empire. And these two are best friends and kind of have a tension between them. And turns out that one of these friends is the heir to the empress of this empire, and the other one is from the destroyed planet and actually feels very bad about the whole empire thing. And it is very gay. So yeah, this is gays in space in the best way. There is so many tropes, like forced to share a bed. I am grooving, I am loving this, and it is actually not that long, and the cover is one of the most gorgeous things I have ever seen. So if you are a Star Wars fan, people were promoting with this book as Emily Skrutsky loves storm pilots from the new Star Wars movies and just went with it and wrote a book about it. And this is just simply great. And the second book is coming out next year, and it's on my most anticipated list of 2021. Gays in Space, go read it. Next book is okay, these books are like over so many genres. I am not even sorry, I read a lot of different things. And this one, I read it in February and I love this so much, but it is so controversial. I think 2 books on this top 10 are controversial, and this is one of them. Credence by Penelope Douglas. So this is a dark romance. This is a 18 plus reverse harem version of Twilight. So if you like very spicy books, books that are actually having this Twilight vibe, this like small town, everything is in a mist, it's in a forest, and if you like this stuff, this one. This is my favorite dark spicy book. It is so good, but so controversial. Oh my god. So basically it's about a girl who has very rich parents and they both die. And she is sent to a friend of her father's who she called uncle, but she's not related to. And she sent him, and he lives in a small town. And actually not in this town itself, but in a gorgeous villa on top of a mountain. And he has 2 sons, and she goes there and actually has a lot of tension with everybody. And then they get snowed in for months. The temperature is rising. So you can imagine where this goes. This is a bit controversial because, yeah, they are brothers and she kind of calls one of them uncle, and but it is written very well, and the spice in this is immaculate, beautiful, A+. So I just have a thing for a Twilight spice. So this, do it. If you like spicy books, this is for you. Do it. Sukigawa. So this book is set in Japan. It's Japanese literature, and this is about a guy who has kind of lost his motivation for his job, for life, and he meets a sweet old lady, and he has been making doriyaki, which is like pancakes with a sweet bean paste between them. He was in prison and came out and was given this like simple job, and he doesn't like it much. And then this sweet lady comes over and basically tells him, I can do a better paste than this. We can make this better. And yeah, he kind of reluctantly agrees. And one day he notices that she has like a bit like weird hands, and people are starting talking about her, and there is a lot of discrimination there. And actually, this is based on historical facts. This is all about the treatment of lepra victims in Japan, and how shunned and how discriminated they were against in society. And this is an ode to life. This is so beautiful. It is giving me hope. I was filled with love and hope, and I was crying at the end of this book. And this is simply beautiful. It is so impactful. It gives you this kind of a found family feeling in the end, and this appreciation for life. So I think this is one of the most beautiful books I have ever read. I should go back to Japanese literature next year, because these have such impact on me. And this is so good. Please go read this. Also, there's a movie. I have not seen that one, but I'm not sure if that's so good as the book is. But this one is amazing. So let's get into a book I have been waiting for 8 years. So this year was the year that we finally got To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. If you don't know, Christopher Paolini is the author of The Inheritance Cycle, or if you probably know it as Aragon, which is one of my favorite series since childhood. And in 2012, he announced a sci-fi novel, and he has been writing this for 8 years. And I was waiting and waiting, and this year it finally came out. It's 880 pages, and I regret nothing. This book is a love letter to sci-fi. It is so beautifully written. It is dense. Like, he did not waste one page. He worked this so many times until this is the shortest version he could have told the story, without doubt. You see how much work he has put into this, how much world building it goes in there. So, to get into the story, this is about a woman, a xenobiologist, who discovers an old artifact, an alien artifact. And because scientists are stupid sometimes, she touches it, and drama ensues. It changes everything. It calls aliens to their galaxy and basically brings in the first contact and first alien war in this. And this has a beautiful found family crew on a spaceship there. There are space squids. We love space squids. And it is just, if you would ask me now, which book would I recommend for anybody who wants to get into sci-fi and has read fantasy before or is not afraid of big books? If you want to know what science fiction feels like, this is the epitome of it. So if you love sci-fi as much as Christopher Paolini clearly does, go read this. It is in the same way using things that you have seen in other books as Aragon does, because Aragon was heavily critiqued for using tropes from Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Harry Potter, and making them into its own book. If you have been one of those people who are critiquing the Inheritance Cycle back then through this, you will maybe be a bit annoyed by the same thing in this book. And another one, if you have been critiquing, I don't see it, I'm sorry, please don't do that again. He was 17 when he wrote The Inheritance Cycle. Amazing. Don't critique Christopher Paolini for me. Besides critiquing his LGBT representation, because he's really bad in that, but he's a cis white hetero man. I hope he improves some days. This still doesn't have any LGBT representation. yeah, but still, the book is really good. So I have been waiting for long and I have enjoyed the hell out of this. It is so good. So, sci-fi fans, please go read this. Now on to something completely different. And this is also one of the surprise books. I have not expected to read a children's book this year, but my brain kind of went, ooh, scramble everything, quarantine, corona. No, we are not going to read adult things this year, no. And then I have seen some reviews on the booktube for this book, and I just thought it made adults and moms and everybody cry, and I think I need to read this. And it ended up one of my favorite books of this year. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. So this is a children's book, but this is like a modern companion to The Little Prince. You can read it as a child or to a child, but it will touch your soul. It will give you existential hope by itself. It is so deep. I don't know, it is just these sentences in it. It is poetry. It is touching my heart, my soul. I cannot stress enough how beautiful this book is. I will keep this forever. If I ever decide to have children, they will get this, okay? Like, I will read one to you, okay? This one. When have you been at your strongest? Asked the boy. When I have dared to show my weakness. That book, every page, it hits me, okay? So this book is beautiful. It is a gift to humanity. Please take like 20 minutes to read this. It will not take longer because there are like 2 sentences on a page. And yeah, this, please, just, I want more kindness in the world, please. And this book will give everybody a spark of kindness in their heart and of hope. And I just want everybody to read this. Thank you. And one of my top books, it is actually one of a top series of 2020. And it's the Expanse series. I have Babylon's Ashes here, which is the 6th book of the Expanse series. And actually, I can this series, that's the space opera we need. If you love sci-fi, if you want to have so many books to read, and please read The Expanse. This series is taking humanity as it is and taking our stupid brains and just go, okay, what will happen in the future? It is kind of a first contact thing in the end, but actually the aliens are kind of not there. If you read the series, you will know what I mean. But it is all about exploring humanity, exploring our motivation, our kindness, our aggression, our hopes, dreams, how our stupid, like, power hungriness, everything. This is so good. Like, so good. The politics of it, the war in it, the rebellion in it, the whole universe made in this. And the best thing about this is that it is all surrounding a crew that came together in tragedy and actually become a family in the best way. And I love these characters to bits. I cannot decide which one is my definite favorite of the crew. This is so great. So there are 8 books out now. There will be 9. And I would just say that the first 6 books are actually a series, and the last 3, which I have not read, are going to be a trilogy on their own because they have a time jump between them. And the ending of this book is beautiful, the best. I love it. And another book that is among my top 10 books of the year is a book that surprised me because I didn't think I will read a favorite book of the year in December. And that's Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I loved that movie so flippin' much, and I didn't think I would love the book, but I loved the book more than the movie. It is immaculate, it is so beautiful. I cannot stress enough that this is nerd culture in its best. This is all about a virtual reality that humanity has escaped to after the whole planet is just haywire, going into capitalist hell. And they are escaping into the Oasis, which is a virtual world. Everybody can be beautiful, everybody can be powerful, and yeah. And it has been made by the biggest D&D nerd in the universe. And he dies, and he has introduced a quest for everybody to find an Easter egg and win the power over Oasis and over humanity, basically. And a nerd guy does that. It is great. It is beautiful. Just go read it. It is full of references for movies and for books and for games from the 80s onwards, and it's just amazing. So much fun. Pure fun. I love this book. I loved it so much. Yeah, amazing. So that one on my top 10. Amazing. And reflect on yourself, what is actually consent. And I love where the book went. It gets 5 out of 5 stars for me. I have predicted this is going to be one of my favorites, and it is. I don't think this is for everybody. I think that this is a very specific crowd that is going to love this. But still, this is one of my favorite books of 2020. So if you like kind of dystopian stuff, if you like kind of, consent discussions, male-to-male relationships, because this is gay as hell, and if you, don't mind spicy books, yes, this is maybe for you, but please Google trigger warnings for this, because this is kind of heavy, okay? But great. Also, Chaos Bazaar is coming out with another book next year, and I can't wait for it. Amazing. And the last book I have read, like one of my first books that I have read in 2020. And I have not had a physical copy until Christmas. And now I have it. And I am so happy. Thank you, sister. I love you. My sister gave it to me. She gave me a book last year for Christmas, and it ended up in my favorites 2019. And again, she gave me a physical copy of a book that is in my top 10. So I am saving one book every year for my sister to give me for Christmas that I can put in this video. And this year, and probably if I would have to choose a favorite book of 2020 among these 10, I probably would go with this one. It's The Priory of the Orange Tree. The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is super heavy. I would have to put it down because this is 800 pages something. Epic fantasy. And this is also gay. It is sapphic. And I love it so much. So this lovely book is about 2 kingdoms, East and West. West is afraid of dragons. They hate them. East loves dragons. They are dragons. They have water dragons. Like these Chinese dragons that are these flowy, beautiful creatures. And the West has these like Middle Ages French dragons, like these beasts, right? And fire dragons. They are afraid of them, they love them. That means these countries hate each other, right? So it is very difficult to explain the whole book because it's a lot. But the queen of the West Kingdom needs to have an heir to next queen and to continue, and there's a curse on her. If she does not have an heir, the big bad dragon that has actually made them fear dragons will come back. Okay? And in the East, you have a whole dragon rider competition that young people can learn how to ride dragons. So my Aragon heart just went, whoo, give me. But it turned out so much better. Like these 2 kingdoms, you have this political like divide between them, and in the sea between them, you have pirates. a pirate queen that is ruthless. You have witches, kind of witches, in the south that are getting their power from an orange tree. And all these people are fearing this prophecy that this big bad dragon is going to return. Because that's the plot of this book, the big bad dragon is returning. And they are trying to find a way how to stop the dragon destroying everything. And yeah, there is in the main cast a female to female relationship in there. There are some of my favorite characters in this. Artulov Beck, he's my baby. I have adopted him as my son forever. Okay. This is an epic fantasy. There are 2 types of dragons, 2 magic systems. Yeah, I said 2 magic systems. The dragons. There is pirates. There is 2 different kind of societies based on a like an Asian, Chinese inspired country, then a French Middle Ages inspired society. And it is so good. It is so good. This is the fantasy that I needed, and it made me go back to reading fantasy. I have fallen out of reading fantasy before I picked this up, and after that I have read so much fantasy this year because of this book. This is the epitome, the everything I want from fantasy. So this is the fantasy I would recommend for everybody. And this is the science fiction I would recommend for everybody, and both of them are over 800 pages. I have no regrets. They are standalones, so there are not going to be like 5 books after them you have to read. These are standalones, so that's why I would recommend them to everybody as an introduction. So I need to put these books down because today is my like arms day for muscle training, but I don't want to do that with books. So that's it. That's my top 10 books of 2020. This has been a good year of reading. I think I have kind of figured out what I really like in books. I had some train wrecks in there. The next video is going to be the worst books of 2020, which I don't have physically, because when I don't like a book, I will get rid of it. I will gift it to a library. But I still need to mention them to you because I don't want you to read them or know why I didn't like them. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today and for sitting with me for over half an hour to know what books I loved this year. And there have been so many more this year I loved, and I'm sad that I cannot take them all here and tell you about them. But these 10, pick those up, please. And come talk to me about them because they're really great. So please tell me your favorite books in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. In the meantime, please subscribe, and thank you for joining me today. Bye!